understand that, and it's just that I find that we have to take the first step. So are they or are they not interested in revising their subdivision plan?
We have to ask them to find that out.
What are we just talking about? Is this just guessing on your part?
Yes. On my part, in terms of what Crow
is essentially, they don't need us. We potentially could come up with something via working with them, and that's something that we have to initiate. We have to basically say, would you be willing to look at options to facilitate another access into the property via Thompson Road, which, according to Brent, is something that has been surveyed, looked at, cost estimate, done, etc.
No, I know that. Okay.
So that's. I'm just bringing this up in discussion. Obviously, it's something that needs to be. I didn't expect to have any action beyond the fact that this is information that we need to be talking about.
Okay.
And the second thing was the fact that.
Can we do the second thing when the fire chief presents his service plan, because he's responsible for the NERC program? This afternoon?
Sure. Yeah. Yep. In order to speed things up.
I just wanted to make one point that Don Marshall and some folks have put together terms of reference for a solid waste management advisory group or task force or whatever, and I've actually done a fair amount of work and are quite ready and prepared to move forward with that, with the view to getting recommendations. But we need to formalize the task force.
Can we get that on the
When do we do
the
that?
task force will bring that forward for the 27th.
So that'll be the 27th? Great. Okay. Sure.
I'm not quite sure what Councillor Morse suggested that we discuss about something else with the fire chief later on.
Oh, the Councillor Lucas had the emergency services coordinator and NERC item on the agenda, and that
is NERC.
Neighborhood emergency response persons.
Okay.
And that all is under the responsibility of the fire chief, so I thought we could save some time now since we're behind and discuss it with him this afternoon when we talk about the fire department's service plan.
Well, I think we have to consider two things. Is there any merit in the municipality stretching out the hand and trying to do an improvement to the existing subdivision plan? That is one thing, and I have no opinion on that, but that is something which council, the wisdom, could hopefully find a solution to.
So we're talking about the
CRC.
But CRC. But there is something way more important and could have tragic consequences. Thompson Road has been considered the primary access for the last 50-60 years, has been always shown on any Ministry of Highways plan, plus another access which crossed the Fairweather land and then the adjacent district lot. So Roger Curtis had always two access points, plus the Tunstall Bay Boulevard, which was never considered other than for emergency purposes. You have a 640-acre parcel, which is, from a fire risk assessment, probably the most vulnerable piece of Bowen Island, because we are exposed in the summer mostly to westerly winds. If there would ever a fire start, and it would, if it starts, it would start probably at where the beacon is, close to the southwest corner. Roger Curtis, 40 acres, has no hydrants. There's no firefighting capacity. And worse, there is no designated evacuation route. Apart from the fact that any wildfire starting there and not stopped immediately at a speed of about 30 miles will be at one point in about less than an hour. So there are no evacuation rules. And if there is one thing more important than a lousy plan for Roger Curtis, it is a potential risk, because by the time we face that situation, it's too late to plan. So we will definitely have to discuss it this afternoon with the fire chief. But if there is one priority which planning and the fire department has to entertain, is a firefighting and evacuation plan. And that includes the Queen Charlotte Heights neighborhood. Same thing. That hopefully will not happen during our term, that some fires. If it is, we cannot, other than jumping off the shore, if we ever get there, and hoping by swimming to Keats or to Montreal Bay, there is no evacuation.
It's thank you. It's interesting, the timing of this. Crow and I had a parallel discussion about this topic last night, not specifically about CRC, but there have been some resignations of people in the emergency preparedness group, and it's really brought home the fact that we need to move forward on emergency preparedness planning and bolstering the whole NERD program and so on. So yeah. So anyway, I'm just what I'm doing is I'm just emphasizing that from a number of fronts, this is an important issue.
And the fire chief has mentioned that he'd be interested in doing a tabletop exercise with council and all interested parties. We had one about 4 years ago. Right. And he's keen to talk to council about that.
You haven't been given your big binder yet, which is this thick.
That's what I talked about yesterday.
Okay, we have a recommendation to move to a closed meeting, and it is that immediately following adjournment of the February 13th, 2012 special council meeting, council moved to a closed meeting to review items pursuant to sections 90.1A and 90.1C of the community charter.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor?